Hi Guy. In this video we reviews the 5 best cold brew coffee makers for 2023. Make barista quality cold brew at home with these top picks. If you're in the habit of picking up a cold brew on your way to work, you know how expensive that little morning routine can be. With coffee prices at coffee shops increasing, there has never been a better time to purchase a cold brew coffee maker for your home. Making the perfect cold brew is more complicated than you might think. You'll need to buy the right kind of coffee grounds coarse, steep them overnight, and filter them appropriately in the morning. And who better to comment on the art form of cold brew making than professional coffee artisans? We put 10 popular cold brew coffee makers to the test and to do a blind taste test of the cold brew we made in our studio to get their feedback on color, taste, concentration, and overall experience. We also performed a follow-up test with our original top picks, along with 10 other popular options, to get a true sense of the best in the field. Number 1. OXO Good Grips Cold Brew Coffee Maker. The best cold brew coffee maker. This cold brew coffee maker produced the strongest, boldest brew of any model we tested. It's also easier to assemble and use than the competition. Compared with other cold brew coffee makers, the OXO Good Grips Cold Brew Coffee Maker produced a more consistent, flavorful cup of coffee, likely thanks to its metal mesh filter. It's easier to set up and clean than other brewers we tested, and it drains neatly with the flip of a switch. It also looks sleek and comes with an attractive if delicate glass carafe. And since this is an appliance that lives on your counter, looks matter. Like all of our picks, this brewer produces a coffee concentrate that needs to be diluted with water or milk. We found that about 2 ounces of concentrate from any of our picks was enough for a full glass of cold brew. So a full 24 to 28 ounce batch of concentrate from this model yields about 12 to 14 servings of coffee. Number 2. Best value. Hario Mizudashi Cold Brew Coffee Pot. The Hario Mizudashi is great for cold brew beginners or anyone not seeking a pricey instrument for smooth coffee at home. The ultra-fine mesh strainer works well to keep grounds separated from the brew without blocking the flow of flavor from the beans. The carafe is glass instead of plastic like other low-cost cold brew makers, which makes it sleek and easy to clean. After 12 to 24 hours of steeping, removing the filter is simple. We love that when extraction is complete, we can simply lift out the filter and replace the lid to convert the cold brew maker to a pitcher. After diluting with water, the test produced strong and smooth coffee that gave this machine top ratings, even compared to more expensive, popular coffee makers. The brewer has a tall, sleek silhouette and is easy to operate and clean. It's a smart buy for straightforward use at home. Number 3. Most versatile, Toddy Cold Brew Coffee Maker Systems. The Toddy was the bulkiest of the cold brew coffee makers we tested, but the result is worth the countertop space it takes up. There are a few different parts to this brewing system: carafe, stopper, brewing container, and filters, but it's still easy to use. Place a large paper filter in the brewing container, add the coffee and water, place the lid on the container, and let it sit for 12 to 24 hours, depending on your preference. Once the desired time has passed, remove the paper filter and stopper, then let the coffee drip into the carafe. The paper filter and the small reusable felt filter between the brewing container and the carafe ensured that no grounds escaped into the carafe during testing. Also, the large area that the coffee grounds steeped in overnight made for a consistently strong and smooth cold brew concentrate. Our baristas loved that the Toddy system approach allows flexibility with your coffee making. You could make a large amount of cold brew concentrate for an event, a more potent batch for cocktail ingredients if you're making an espresso martini, for example, or a weaker brew for cold brew ice cubes. Number 4. Best Splurge, Vinci Express Cold Brew Electric Coffee Maker. The future is now, and it's cold brew coffee in just 5 to 10 minutes from Vinci's Express Cold Brew Electric Coffee Maker. Instead of the typical overnight extraction, this tool uses circle flow technology to produce cold brew at lightning speed. The borosilicate glass carafe feels high quality in the hand, and it was easy to learn to operate on the first try from the instructions. 7 scoops of medium ground coffee yield 37 ounces of cold brew. We felt the coffee from this machine tasted strong but smooth. It's less acidic than the cold brew you might get from coffee shops, and there isn't an aftertaste. They also found that it was very easy to pour after the quick brewing process. The regular lid can twist to the side to expose the pouring spout, which does a fine job of letting us pour the brew into a glass. For cleanup, everything except the power cord and the brew top is dishwasher safe. A filter basket has a bottom and a cover that remove easily to dispose of the grounds and use the tool as a classic carafe in the fridge. There are a few parts to store, so keep in mind if you've got limited cabinet and drawer space. This machine is great for anyone short on time and ready to invest in an efficient coffee tool.
Number 5. KitchenAid Brushed Stainless Steel Cold Brew Coffee Maker. This cold brew coffee maker had the most detailed instructions, but it was straightforward to use. To prepare, add coffee grounds to the circular filter and slowly pour water over the grounds, then let them sit for 12 to 24 hours. After the desired time has passed, remove the filter and grounds before pouring from the tap. The KitchenAid was the only cold brew coffee maker recommended by our baristas that didn't include a paper filter of some kind. And that was apparent since some grounds slipped into the poured coffee samples. However, we loved the intense flavor and suggested adding a paper filter for a smoother experience. Our follow-up tests also found that the results were smooth and flavorful. The brewer's tap does pour a little slowly, but since it's a concentrate, it's not much of a concern. It's slightly pricey compared to smaller brewers, but for households with high-volume coffee consumption, this is a great pick